you worried about the new spam and deliverability guidelines that Outlook and Google released regarding cold emails? Have you seen your reply rates dropping and you're not sure what's going on or what you can do? Well, if this is you, make sure to tune in to the end of this video to figure out the 11 reasons why this might be happening and how you can adjust this to fix this and make sure your emails are always going to be landing in the inbox. My name is Jesse Rosa, and I've been running a lead generation agency here at LeadZest for the past 2+ years. So without further ado, let's dive into it. So number one would be not using Google Workspace or Outlook accounts as your inbox hosting provider. So you're gonna have to bite the bullet here. Good stuff isn't cheap. You have to use a reputable provider. Don't use anything like Zoho or any of these random platforms people are coming out with. Don't use a VPS if you don't know what you're doing. Not to knock a VPS, that can definitely work very well. But if you're not familiar with the upkeep and health and how to make sure that's running properly, just don't get involved in it because it's going to be more work for you and it's not going to end up working as effective as you want it to. So number two would definitely be not having proper DNS setups. So DKIM, DMARC, the regular DNS records that you should be putting in there, SPF records and BMI records. Most people really already know this, but just putting this in here just in case maybe you missed one or two. You can use various DNS checking tools to really make sure that this is authenticated and set up properly. Number three would be having too many users in your admin panel. So don't have an admin panel that has 500 users or 200 users. Don't have one admin panel for all of your emails, and if you're a lead gen agency, all of your clients' emails. Make sure to really have a separate admin panel for every maybe 10 to 15 max users, I would say. You don't want to aggregate everything to the same source because that can be completely wiped, and it can also be looked at that why is this admin panel sending so much volume? So you're going to have to separate your eggs here and have separate admin panels. Number four, hugely important. Your targeting is way off. So yeah, of course, everybody, wants to do maybe a spray and pray approach in the beginning, but I tell you what, this is never worth it. If your targeting is off and you're just reaching the wrong person, your likelihood of getting marked as spam is like 100 times higher than you actually researching and targeting the right job title that has intent, that is actually relevant for this offer. If you're supposed to be targeting people head in finance and you accidentally send it to someone in marketing, it has nothing to do with them. They're going to mark it as spam because, pretty much it is. You have to keep your targeting on point because the temple is your deliverability and you never want to get marked as spam here. Number five would be sending 2 emails per inbox. So 50 emails per day is the sweet spot right now. 25 warm, 25 cold. And you can only really have 2 inboxes per domain right now. So same rules apply, 50 emails per inbox. So that'd be 100 total for your domain, 50 split between 2. You can maybe get away with a little higher, but you'll start seeing disconnects and, maybe you'll start sneaking into the spam. It's better to do lower volume. You're definitely going to get a little bit of better deliverability and basically no chance of getting disconnected, but you're also doing lower volume. So I'd say the sweet spot is about 20 to 25 right now. Number 6 is the wrong settings in Instantly or Smart Lead for your sender settings. So you want to spread out your email sends a minimum of 10 minutes right now. Before you could get away with 5 or 6, maybe 7 minutes. But I think in 2024, this has to be spread out a lot more. Right now, I'm running about like 11, 12, or 13 minutes. I would say keep it at a minimum of 10 minutes per send per email account. Spread it out more and you're going to see your reply rates actually end up increasing. Another thing that people probably already know, plain text HTML emails. Keep it plain text. There's buttons in Instantly or Smartly. Click it. Keep it plain text. You might have copy and pasted something from Google Doc. It has some sort of code in it that's actually pretty heavy in your email. Make sure it's plain text and make sure you're not tracking opens. You're not allowed to track opens if you don't have the plain text HTML version already in your email. So you want to keep it plain text, no open tracking. Don't put links in there. Don't put images. So you don't want any links, nothing heavy. Just keep it light text, a few sentences, and you're good to go. You're smooth sailing. You don't want this heavy object being sent to these inboxes that have these firewalls and spam filters. It's not going to go through. So another one would be number 7, not having the proper signature. It's not talked about that much, but actually having an address in your signature, like a company address, it actually helps your deliverability because it builds a reputation. It builds like you are a reputable sender. You are a person, first name, last name. You have a phone number in your signature. You have a company address and a company name in your signature. This is normal. This is what it should be. Spammers typically don't have this. They don't have a phone number or a company address. It's usually some sort of random print asking for money that just says, thank you, send now, and like that's it. No company address whatsoever. So this actually helps. It's an underrated tip. Number 8 would be improper warm-up settings. So you want to warm your domains for 2 weeks. Yes, everybody should know this. And I like to keep the reply rate pretty high, around 90 to maybe even 100% for the first 2 weeks. And I'll do my volume at about 35 a day. And after this 2-week period is over, this is where I kind of bring it down to 25 per day. And I lower my reply rate a little bit, but I still keep it kind of high to about 65%. So by keeping your reply rate this high, in my experience, it looks like it's better for the inbox's health because people sometimes do 10 or 20% reply rates. But if you're sending out 100 emails and only 20% get a reply, it's not really realistic and human-like. So that's why I like to keep it higher. Ideally, maybe you could keep it at 100% while you're doing your emails, because while you send your colds, you're not going to get 100% back. So a good number that I keep it at is 65%. I've had no issues and I've seen good results that way versus keeping at like 15% or 20% reply rate. Number 9 would be a low conversation volume. Another one that's not really talked about. So in a sense, you want to imagine you're being looked at the big brother, right? Which we pretty much all are. So Google and Outlook are looking at our conversations. You don't want to have a track record of sending 3, 4, or 5 emails out and then just getting one response back, and then you don't send emails out. So you're not replying to their reply. You send them 5 emails. They said one thing back, and then now you're not saying anything. It looks a little fishy. It's really hard to know exactly how these ESP spam filters are looking, like what they're looking for and how these sort of spam traps are triggered. But you have to be conscious about it and try to remain as human-like as possible. So if someone replies and if they say piss off, don't talk to me again, don't even answer this, don't answer. But if you're like, oh, actually, I'm not sure if this is the right time, but I appreciate you reaching out, you should be replying to that. Set up a subsequence in SmartLead and dump an automated reply like, oh, no problem. I appreciate the response and I wish you guys the best and have a great rest of your week. So now you have an email going to them. They reply to you. Now you're replying back to them. You have a conversation thread. You want to have as many of those as possible. And this really increases the efficiency in your deliverability. Number 10 would be bounce rates. Having bounce rates that are higher than 2 to 3%. You want to keep these below 2%, theoretically 0, but you want to have it below 1% as well. A big thing about this is some people validate a lead list and just keep it and pick at it every couple days, every couple weeks. Don't validate a lead list and then take leads from it a month later, 2 weeks later, a week later, even a day later. You want to validate your leads literally minutes before you're about to launch your campaign, because the rule of thumb is that 8 to 10% of leads will invalidate every month. So if you think about this, that's almost 0.5% a day. Now, if you're talking about 5 to 10,000 leads, it's actually a substantial amount of leads that are going to invalidate day by day and even hour by hour. So you want to do this as soon as possible. And last but not least, 11 is not using spintax or even personalization in your emails. Not to say that you need personalization in your emails, but personalization is good because it acts as a spintax. It's unique for every email. You're going to be having different emails with different personalization, whether it's location based or job title based or company names. Yes, they're different. Every email is not going to be the same company name. So there's various different ways that you can do this. Obviously, spintax is very simple. You can have 20 different greetings and 20 different closings, and maybe your opt-out message. You can have 50 variations. Put a quote at the bottom of your email. Make a list of 1,000 different quotes. Put it in your email signature and have a different quote for every single email that you're sending. Put spintax in your body. for various words. Just, you know, look up synonyms for certain words, and ChatGPT can really help you out with this. So making that email one of one, unique every single time is just going to blow the competition out of the water, because not a lot of people do this, and Outlook and Google do know this. And the people who are not doing this, those emails are not going in the inbox. So this is a wildly important number 11 here. I should have had it number 1, but I saved the best for last. All right, so thanks so much for watching the 11 reasons why you actually might be landing in spam. So deliverability has become a lot more difficult in 2024. So make sure you are using every single one of these 11 points in your day-to-day cold email campaigns. Because to tell you the truth, if you're not doing all 11 and you're missing 1, you're missing 2, even if you're just missing 1, this might be the make or break for your campaign. You need to be utilizing every single one of these techniques and strategies, and you are gonna have the best possible deliverability. As always, thanks so much for watching. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and tune into the next video. Blessed sending, lads. Take care.